Documenting tests or procedures given in the office today is done in clinical through a procedure checklist. Click the Open icon to access the Procedures Performed checklist. This checklist may initially be blank and will need to be configured by your office. However, the great thing about that is your list will then be completely customized for your practice. You may have several tabs along the top, which would be used to organize your options. If you only have one tab, it will be named Unspecified by default. However, that can be modified through Template Editor. To document you performed a test or procedure, click the green plus sign next to the applicable option. You will then be presented with the Order Procedure dialog, where you have the option to attach supporting information to this procedure. The order date will default to the date of the note. However, you can modify it here if need be. If you would like to document a result or comment regarding this procedure, you can do so in the respective free text fields. If the procedure is configured as an image, lab, or test, you will have the option to set the priority of the order as either routine or stat. Once the order has been sent, orders with a stat priority will appear in red on the to-do list, while those with a routine priority will appear black. If the priority field is available, the target field will also be available. Stat or routine orders with a target date set to today or past due will have the word due added to the priority column on the to-do list. If the procedure warrants a modifier, you can click the ellipsis icon to select from a list. You can add up to 4 modifiers to a single procedure. Next, you have diagnosis. Click the drop-down, and you will see a list of the patient's current or pre-existing diagnoses that exist in their chart. If you do not see the diagnosis you are looking for, you will have to close this dialog and enter it through the diagnosis checklist first. You can select up to 5 diagnoses for each procedure. You also have the ability to modify the order of the diagnoses by highlighting the code and using the green up and down arrows to move its position. This is important for billing purposes, especially if you are sending charges electronically from clinical to practice manager. Speaking of billing purposes and sending charges electronically, if you are charging for this procedure, make sure the Q Charge checkbox is selected. If you are documenting a procedure you didn't actually perform today, you can click the Procedure Not Performed checkbox and then add a reason as to why in the comment field. If the procedure was not performed, notice that Q Charge is grayed out, indicating that you cannot charge for this procedure. If you plan to track the status of this order, check the box for Create Order. In addition, if you would like another person in your practice to receive a notification about this order on their to-do list, you can click the ellipsis icon next to Send to select their name. If you initially documented this order on paper and are just now entering it into the computer so your electronic chart is complete, you can select the box for Initial Order Created Outside of Clinical. The original intent for this flag was for meaningful use purposes. Lastly, you have the SNOMED section. This will allow you to attach a SNOMED code or codes to this procedure, which is typically done for quality reporting purposes. The first time you select a particular procedure, you will have to attach a SNOMED. However, subsequent uses of this code may already have the SNOMED attached if you saved your selection the first time around. After selecting the SNOMED, you would have clicked Save from the User Default section to do this. To attach a SNOMED code, click Search. Then start typing the description of the SNOMED, and highlight the applicable code once you find it. Then click OK to return to the Order Procedure dialog. If you selected the wrong code, you can click Delete to remove the code and then search again for the correct one. Modifiers may also have SNOMED codes attached, so keep in mind you will see them listed in this dialog along with the procedure code, and SNOMEDs would be attached in the same manner. Click OK when you're done entering supporting information for this procedure. You will then be taken back to your checklist with the option to add more procedures if necessary. If you do not see the procedure you are looking for in the favorites list, you can click Search/Add Procedures from the bottom to search the database. You will have the option to search by description, CPT code, or LOINC code. If you would like to remove a procedure from this chart note, click the red minus sign to the left of the procedure in the summary section. If you would like to modify the supporting information associated with this procedure, click the Edit Procedure icon to open the Details dialog. When you're done adding tests or procedures for this encounter, click OK to close the checklist. You will then see the information populate the current chart note and your face sheet.